Hello and welcome to today's AWS Industry Council discussion, a platform for industry leaders to share insights and collaborate with each other. My name is Anurag Saluja and I'm from the retail team at AWS. Before we begin, I'd like to begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today as well. I'm pleased to welcome the panelists with me today. Meet Pete Ratcliffe from RM Williams, a very, very unique business born in Australia. Good to meet you, Pete.
Okay.
And also meet Jagmeet Dhingra, who is part of NewStore, which is one of the AWS partners.
Absolutely. Thrilled to be here.
Welcome, gentlemen. And before we initiate this very interesting conversation, let's establish the context a little bit. At AWS, we obsess about our customers. And this customer obsession, this customer centricity is what drives us to develop solutions and services to deliver a consistent shopping experience for our customers. Now, what we also do at AWS is empower our partners to deliver solutions for retailers so that they can continue to deliver an extensive and enriched customer experience. And with that, I'm going to come to you to start off with, Pete. You are a very unique, born in Australia retailer, and you have a very loyal customer base. You have done remarkable things as a business. Tell us more about yourself. Tell us more about your business and your customers and the changing times, how their behaviors are changing.
Yeah, sure, Anurag. RM Williams itself is a 90-year-old Australian heritage brand. Started off making our most famous single one piece of leather boots, and it's just grown from there. It's a very unique business. It's, as you say, it's got a lot of unique customers who just love the brand, and we've grown ever since I think it's 92 years now this year. We span across the globe. We have over 60 stores here in Australia with stores in New Zealand and the UK as well. And like yourselves in AWS, we're totally obsessed with our customer. We thrive on that customer service in our stores, online, and we were looking for technology to be able to even enhance that even further so that the customer experience was as premium as our brand.
That's interesting. And how do you see the change in the dynamics over last probably 10 years or so in customers' kind of outlook towards you and the way they purchase?
Customers, I've been with the RM Williams brand for 3 years now, and even in that 3 years, expectations and customer expectations have changed so much. They're focusing more and more on quality and more on individual personalized service.
Personalization, yeah. And in an omni-channel world, obviously, if I probably ask you this, Jagmeet, your solution is actually an omni-channel ready solution. And how do you really see this trend across other retailers? I mean, of course, we have RM Williams, but what about the other wider industry?
Yeah, look, thanks, Anurag. Thanks, Pete. That is absolutely correct. We see the retail industry ever evolving, right? So it is constantly changing, and you need to be in step with the industry and what the retailers' customers are expecting. And that is where NewStore, as you know, is a unified commerce platform, but we are anchored in an omni-channel POS. And what we've done is we've brought together a lot of capability to allow retailers like RM Williams be able to service all of the omni-channel scenarios that the shoppers have come to expect today, right? So when we start creating our solutions, we focus on two people, which we believe matter the most in a shopping journey. One is the customer, who's the shopper at the store, and the other one is the store staff who's servicing that particular customer. So the forward-looking retailers, we then talk about 2 to 3 major themes, if you will. The first one being the seamless experiences across all channels, be it in-store, be it online. The other one being, how can I make my inventory work harder for me? Which is really being able to service an order irrespective of the channel and irrespective of where that particular inventory is within your store or distribution network. And then the third one, I was with another retailer the other day, and they were talking about it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for them to train a new hire at the store level and make them completely operational. So retailers are wanting to cut down that time in general and also enable all of that capability that we talk about, because that's where you drive a lot of operational and process efficiency for businesses.
It's great. Yeah.
Well, going further on that, in what Jagmeet said, it takes us less than half a day to train a new staff member.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So we were there before with difficult systems and outdated systems where it did take weeks to train somebody. Now we can have a new staff member in fully operational within hours.
And tell us more about such data points, like, because this is just one great benefit out of it, but then there could be others, like, for example, are you able to have more flexibility in your business models, for instance, putting up pop-up stores or really having those peak trading cycles? How do you really bust the queue? All that good stuff. What are your scenarios like before and after?
Yeah, sure. Like before, we would have a typical store could have 10 team members in the store, one single fixed point of sale. So they could be with yourself, trying the boots on, and then take you up to a line to be able to wait for another team member to finish their transaction on the fixed point of sale and then serve you. Now we have each team member on the floor has an iPhone, which is their mobile point of sale. They can sit with the customer, go through our unique RM Williams signature service, try the boots on, fit you properly. Once you've decided on the boot, they take a bag from the drawer, put the box of the boots into the bag, show their iPhone, tap to pay, thank you customer, and transaction done. So you've got that unique personal service from end to end with the customer. And by having that, we've gone from a single point of sale with a line, which some people don't want to line up, to 10, up to 10. Our most recent flagship store, we have up to 20 team members on the floor. So there's 20 mobile points of sale. And so you're not losing any sales whatsoever. If we don't have the right size for you in the store, simply look it up on the system. We can see where it is available in other stores, and it's paid for, tap to pay, and shipped direct to the customer from the other store. So we've opened up our inventory as well, so we're not losing sales in that sense either. So sales go up, service goes up, customer happy, team member happy.
But this is amazing view of what you are presenting. But if you notice how these solutions are brought into organizations, obviously it takes plenty of hard work behind the scenes, right? There are things to be replaced, there are things to be re-put and reframed, and so on and so forth. So how did you actually implement such a solution which has impact on people, processes, as well as technology?
Well, our project itself wasn't just about the point of sale. So we decided on a model of full customer centricity. So we implemented a range of Salesforce products as well. So we had Salesforce Service Cloud. We upgraded our outdated Commerce Cloud. And then we implemented our marketing technology, Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And then the final piece of the puzzle was the NewStore solution. So the project itself was envisaged to take around 3 years from end to end. We had a number of project teams all around the globe. We had NewStore, we had Salesforce, we had our e-commerce platform team, we had our ERP platform team, internal teams, all working together, but everybody was involved in the project from day one. So then the architect that we had from Salesforce was architecting the whole system. We did it in phases by bringing NewStore at the beginning to just have transactions running through NewStore. So just as the transaction come from our old point of sale, it was fed into NewStore. No other work on NewStore at that point, just feeding transactions through. So we had the integrations done. And so then we went through 3 phases. And that worked beautifully, so we were getting each stage done. So by the time we did roll out, it was simply rolling out the point of sale. The biggest thing for us was change management. And we followed a unique approach where we wanted to bring users within the business in as champions of the system. So across our team network, it was advertised that we wanted 10 to 12 NewStore champions to be part of the project. And people had to apply as though they were applying for a new job. And so then that was through the interview process, the whole thing, and so we wanted to make sure that they were the right people for the role, that they had the change management skills that they would need to. And so we then moved those people onto the project. We had an external testing team who was doing the standard testing processes. But this team then tested NewStore and the other systems based on real life experiences within our RM Williams stores. And they'd say, well, no, that scenario's not right because this is how our customer is. So we had that real life picture within the team. So they went through heavy testing processes, and they were the ones who actually created the training documentation. So in retail speak.
And that was the one which was used for
rolling out the stores. So then each of these team members were then rolling out NewStore to the stores around Australia. So we did that region by region. And it was their responsibility. It wasn't an IT project at all. It was a business project. We were the enablers, but they were rolling it out. And then after we rolled out, their role became omni-channel roles where they were the super users. Any issues or questions that any retail team had, they would go to their respective champion. And it was only ever escalated to IT if it was an IT integration issue or so on. But retail processes, they still get involved today. As new releases come out, they're the ones who'll test it. They're the ones who'll get the communications out to the stores on how this works and what it means to us.
Got it.
So it's all about being a business project.
Fantastic.
And owned by the business owners.
Yeah. Well, that's really good. And this is remarkable how well you manage the change management aspect. And Jagmeet, if I could ask you about the way you empowered RM Williams in terms of really adding new functionalities, because every time you go to a customer, there'll be new requirements and you have to stretch your product to different levels this way or that way, cut down on some of the things. So how did you manage all that, not only with RM Williams, obviously in the context of RM Williams, it's important, but how you really played with all these moving discs as you went into the implementation?
Sure. So while retail as a business is pretty similar across different brands, but each customer seems to have their own unique business processes, which are key differentiators for them. So does RM Williams, right? So during the project, and the way we handle these requirements is we make sure our SI partner teams, our expert services teams, understand technology, understand retail, understand business process, and are able to work with customers and get creative around certain solutions. I can think of a couple of scenarios that came up during the RM Williams project. One was they offer made-to-order boots, which are custom-made by order only, which requires a process of the customer having to select the type of leather, the color on the leather, the heel, the fit, so on and so forth. And the team needed a configurator for being able to create that product and price that product. And we worked with the teams to deliver that as a deliverable during the implementation project. The other one was similarly, they want to manage repairs for boots, which can come back, after the customers have purchased them for certain repairs. And that was another capability that we worked on together and delivered that. From being a global solution, we were always meant to, service global brands, having stores in multiple countries. So there is also an element of, localization required for every region, every country. And there was a requirement around manifests for shipping related processes that I still remember Peter called me during the implementation and said, we need to get that done. And that is where, we also extend our product management, product engineering teams to be able to talk to customers regularly and meet them where we need to meet them, right? So that is where we were pretty quick to make that capability available. One of the other pieces that we continue to work on with RM Williams today is, inventory counts in stores. So that is, again, because everything is revolving around the inventory information, right? So you need that to be 100% accurate. And that is where, we are trying to make sure, we enable the counting process to ensure as close to 100% accuracy as we can.
Perfect. That's really interesting, and it's so unique to see that you are able to bring that personalized experience for your customer as well, for RM William as well, because getting shoes repaired is very, very rare to see. It's fast moving fashion, and it's you throw and then you buy a new pair, but you actually getting into repairing it and configuring that, it's very unique.
And it's even more complex in different countries because you can either send it back to our factory for a repair, or there's some authorised repairers in the UK or New Zealand and so on. So it became quite complex, and it was really, really good that NewStore could actually build that capability for us, because it is such an important part for our customer. We have people who'll send in boots that are 30 years old and they just need a resole, or they just need new tugs on their boots, but they love the boot, they love the brand, it's fitted to their foot. They just want the 30-year-old tugs replaced.
Yes, exactly.
And that's a service we do offer our customers. And for the fact that NewStore could do that was really good.
Yeah.
So they've been really great.
Yeah, and also to further to that, right, we're always wanting to listen to our customers. Our product engineering teams are very keen to hear directly from the customers. So we get them to be talking to all our customers pretty much on a very, very regular basis, right? So that is what enhances our collaboration, enhances the quality of the ultimate deliverable that comes out at the end of the process. And that, again, to us is a bit of a differentiator for NewStore, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's how we look after our customers.
This is really good. And I mean, the journey has been remarkable as it sounds, and as you've just taken us through with that, literally, I could live through those months and months of grilling you must have gone through. What next from here? Like, do you envisage going probably clienteling? Do you envisage going hyper personalization, like really taking personalization to the next level? Because that's how we started this conversation. And also touch upon the omni-channel nature of your business as well, because I know if you have business in the UK, New Zealand, an online business, probably Europe, US, how do you cater to all those kind of customers, and what's your next step now? How do you take this to next level?
Yeah, hyper-personalisation is we're doing very much in store at a personal level by our signature service. From a marketing perspective, we're learning more about our customer, and we're working with Salesforce to bring that whole hyper-personalisation marketing together. In store, there's a single view of the customer. You come into the store, the store team member can see exactly what you've bought before, all your past transactions and so on, so that it's a really personalised service with the customer in store. Online, and that's including online transactions. So it's just more and more that personalising more whatever we can. Our boots are available all over the world. So we have websites in the US, the UK, Europe, New Zealand, Australia, Asia. And so basically, depending on, we can now get the boots to the customer faster in the UK rather than now shipping from Australia. So you wait your 7 days to get your boots. We can ship direct from store.
Okay.
So they're getting their boots a lot quicker.
Okay.
We're working more and more on that process to get more stock over there, and opening more stores in the UK. So Australia itself, a customer can do an endless aisle order from store. So if I don't have my size in the store I'm at, I can have it shipped from the nearest store to my home. Online orders, if they don't have the stock in the warehouse, but it's available in another store, it can be shipped to the customer. We had none of that before. We were very, very siloed in our channels, and we've opened up, it helps clear inventory, but it's also making available inventory to the customer.
To the customers, yeah.
And again, the team member feels great because he is still servicing the customer. He's made the sale even though he's not handing over the product. The customer will see that next day at their doorstep.
Perfect.
And it's a great customer shopping experience, right?
Yeah.
They've come out to your store to buy something, and you've been able to service their demand, even though you don't have that item.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is where we see a lot of benefit for a lot of retailers from just that one capability alone, right? So
Yeah.
we see Endless Aisle contributing close to anywhere between 6% to up to 20% of
Uplift.
retailers' revenues at times, right?
Interesting.
So it's just having that flexibility as a retail brand to be able to service the customer and utilize your inventory.
Yeah.
And for you, Checkmate, like the product has delivered so many capabilities across the board, and particularly it's pretty much like a car. It feels like a car reprinting, car maintenance. It feels like that to me. Now, if that's the situation we are in, then what's next for you as a product? Like Gen AI coming in, adding new features into it. What's your vision? Probably a couple of minutes on that would be helpful.
Yeah, look, there's always more to do, right? There's absolutely always more to do, and customers like RM Williams keep pushing those boundaries as well. so we are obviously continuing to improve on our inventory management capabilities, so that again, the inventory count being one example. From an AI perspective, that is certainly a hot topic at the moment. And like everyone else, our product teams are also considering what can we do in that space. We want to take a very practical and pragmatic approach on which are perhaps the lower hanging fruits. And again, we tend to see those coming around more in the inventory areas. Mm-hmm. So we are trying to now see how we can leverage parts of that to just enable more inventory efficiencies for our customers.
Great. That's interesting. Thanks very much for that, really. And I think with that, we are almost coming to the end of this great conversation. And before I really close off the conversation, maybe last few lines, if you want to share something. Of course, I'm definitely going to buy a pair of shoes from RM Williams. But if there is anything you'd want to share from your side, Pete.
I think from a customer-focused business, who we focus entirely on the customer and the service we give our customer, NewStore, Mobile POS, Omnichannel has enabled us to just enhance that to a level that it's just so great, And I have the team members, when we first rolled out, I have team members who thanked me for bringing this into the store, that it's so much easier to use. I can be with my customer. And when I get feedback from the team members of the technology we provided like that, it makes me feel, hey, I've done my job. Yeah. And so working with a partner like NewStore who listen, Australian retail is different from other retailers around the world. And we were one of the first here in Australia to put in NewStore, and so there were some differences that we needed to show them because, hey, it's not like in Germany, it's not like in the UK, this is how we do it here. And they were so open to making those changes for us. So working with them, and it's been a pleasure, honestly.
Great.
And they're a great team to work with, and all our other partners. The teams work together. We did this all during COVID. So this whole project was done during lockdown.
Whilst we were all locked in our houses. Okay.
So, it was quite a unique time. And it's just been the service we've been able to give our customers and to our team members' productivity. It's just been a great journey.
No, that's really good. And any last few words from yourself before we close it off?
Yeah, no, look, from our perspective, this relationship with RM Williams has been absolutely great for us as well. So thank you again, Peter. They were our first customer, and what a great customer partner to have, right? And for the message, perhaps for anyone listening and other retailers, is really, continue to innovate, continue to adapt. Retail, as we all know, is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
And that is where you need to have an eye out in the future, anticipate what the future trends are, what the customers are expecting, and just make changes in technology and enable those processes for your store teams and digital teams to service your customers better.
Brilliant.
And we keep them on their toes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's the point. Customers keep us on our toes. Thank you very much with that amazing inputs and amazing insights shared by you. And thank you to everyone in the audience as well for joining us today. We hope that you've enjoyed the discussion and been able to gather some insight to apply to your businesses or to your customers' businesses. Please reach out to NewStore or to RM Williams if you want to buy a new pair of shoes from RM Williams. With that, thank you very much once again, and you have a wonderful time ahead. Cheers.